So Kathleen, looks like we're going to need a little stronger security at your border crossing station up in Maine. Did you read that Washington Post article about the terrorists that got involved in the attempted Wizards game bombing, got into the country? Snowmobiles. I guess your border station forgot to close down the old US and Canada snowmobile path.
No, what? No way. I guess I'll just call my contractor and tell him to build a barrier in the path.
No. Whoa, 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 not so fast. The original contract doesn't say he has to build a barrier there.
So what does that mean?
It means if you want the contractor to block the snowmobile path, you're going to have to give him more money.
Well, but where's the money going to come from? All of our money was in the Recovery Act, and the Recovery Act expired in September, which means that we can't add any more money unless it was in the original scope of work. And you just said it didn't say in the original contract that he had to build a snowmobile path. So how are we going to do this?
Look, bottom line is we can't have terrorists joyriding across the border. This is important. Don't you care about the safety of our country?
Yeah, I guess, but I don't want to do something illegal.
We need this. We do not need this kind of thing happening right now. Don't worry about it.
I just remember thinking, am I being unpatriotic? But which is worse, leaving a dangerous hole in the border or breaking the law? Look, Joe, we got a bit of a situation here. I mean, you heard about those terrorists that came across the border in the snowmobiles?
I did. I can't believe it would have happened on my job site.
Well, it's not your fault. I mean, it wasn't written in the original contract. We didn't tell you to close the snowmobile trail, but now we're going to have to do it. The public is livid, and rightly so. It's a huge disaster to have a giant hole in the border.
We can do it. It's just going to cost a lot more money. I'm going to need walls up and down here. I'm going to need a security camera here and here, and probably another gate.
Jeez. Well, the thing is, though, we don't have any more appropriations. The only funds we had available were the Recovery Act funds, and you know they expired in September. So, I don't know. This might be a big thing to ask, but do you think maybe you could do it take a little out of your profit or your overhead or something? It'd be doing a big service to the United States government.
I don't know. The way the contract's written, I don't have much profit in it as it goes right now. I got kids looking at college. My wife lost her job. I don't think I can do it.
Damn.
I do care about this country, but the funds just weren't there. So if the government didn't come up with the money, anyone could just come through the border at that point.
So how's that snowmobile issue coming along? I can't believe those terrorists could get in that easily. You're gonna have to close that gap,
Yeah, I know. I mean, obviously we have to close it, but the problem is that it's going to cost so much money. They have to build a barrier, and barriers are expensive. The only money we have left is the Recovery Act money, and that expired in September. It was supposed to lapse back into the Treasury. I guess I just don't feel right about spending taxpayer money when I'm not supposed to.
No. Seriously, our office does this all the time. You have to keep your eye on the prize. What's really at stake here? I mean, are you helping the taxpayer by letting terrorists and terrorists just cruise on in at their own leisure?
No, I mean, when you put it that way. But what about the regulations?
Regulations are just words on paper. These are people's lives at stake. Think of it like this. The money was supposed to be returned to the Treasury, right? But the Treasury has billions of dollars. They're not going to notice $100,000. We need it way more than they do.
I suppose that's a good point, but...
And not to mention our whole office would be pissed at you if you make a big deal about this. We have buildings going up all over the country, and they need money. There are 43 border control buildings going up, and they have to be built right now. And if we can't pay for it, there's going to be delays, there's going to be issues, there's going to be problems. They'll never get built. And all the work we've done to secure the border would be ruined, and the terrorists will win. She didn't understand the issues at stake. Sure, what we were doing was a little iffy, but when you're dealing with terrorists, you have to do whatever you need to do to save American lives.
Hi, Kathleen. How are you today?
I'm okay. Thanks for agreeing to meet with me.
Anytime. Is this your first time requesting an independent contract review?
Yes. I guess I just wasn't sure if we're doing everything right.
No, unfortunately, we don't have the power to make you do anything, but we give strong recommendations. And you should listen. Your only job is to monitor contracts to make sure nothing shady is going down. There's been way too many pages of the post dedicated to unscrupulous government spenders. People like you getting kickbacks, awarding contracts to friends, or trading with insider knowledge.
Well, there's nothing like that in this case, but there might be some legal complications. I just thought a second opinion would be good.
You did the right thing. You came to me, I'll review the contract, and I'll let you know.
I knew my boss wouldn't be happy I asked for that independent review. But it was like, what else could I do? The ethical choice just wasn't presenting itself.
Kathleen, have you resolved the snowmobile issue?
It's getting there.
What? It shouldn't be taking this long. Those sharks at the post are breathing down my neck. Do you know how crazy they'd go over a story about how border protection can't shut down a measly snowmobile trail?
Yeah, I get that. It's just, I guess I'm just not sure. I still don't think we should be spending the Recovery Act money.
We talked about this, remember? It's fine, everyone in our office is doing it. There's no other money available, it's our only option.
Yeah, just listen to him. And to me, I'm your boss, and I'm telling you to spend that money. I'm starting to think that you're just not getting it and that you just don't want to stop the problem. Man, she just didn't get it. When you work for Homeland Security, you do whatever it takes to protect the citizens. Who did she think she was? Everyone in our office was using the Recovery Act money, and we all know the best way to cover your ass is to do what everyone else is doing.
Hi, it's Jean-Claude Van Damme from the Quality Assurance Independent Review Board. One of your employees requested an independent review of our contract. I'm seeing some major red flags.
Who in my office asked for a review? We don't need to be reviewed. What do you mean red flags?
Well, it's about this snowmobile trail issue. It seems your office is using Recovery Act funds to pay for the issues that arise at the border station construction projects, and this snowmobile trail, most of these issues were not in the original contracts, and you can't use the Recovery Act funds.
Sir, this is none of your business. Everything we are doing is perfectly legal, and it needs to be done. Are you saying you want terrorists walking across the border and killing our citizens?
Play.
No, of course not. There's no reason to get upset. It's my job to make sure you aren't doing anything inappropriate. Don't you know if you sign an illegal contract, you will be held personally liable for the money you obligated? That means you could be charged hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your pocket. You and your staff could go to jail.
Play.
I have a job to do, and that job is to protect Americans from external threats. You are way out of line. Suggesting that I am doing something illegal?
Look, I know you have a job to do, but my job is oversight. Someone needs to keep an eye on the government spending and the people who conduct it.
Well, that's all you are, isn't it? Oversight? You can't make me do anything. We've been doing it this way, and we're going to keep doing it this way. I am the contracting officer. I have the warrant, and you can't do anything about it.
That was the real problem, you know. We were supposed to provide oversight, but we couldn't enforce. What good is a regulator without enforcement?
Hey, I'm sorry she wouldn't listen to your advice. I mean,
Shh. Come on. That's okay. Regulators are never popular.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know what to do now. I mean, I don't want to do something I know is wrong just because of pressure from my office.
The way I look at it, you have a choice between two bad options.
So what's my first option?
Basically, you know, you can spend the money, they can secure the border. It is illegal, and there are consequences if you get caught, but basically everyone in the office is doing it.
I gotcha. Okay. Well, what's the second option?
You can call for an audit. The government has a confidential tip lines where employees can request an audit of financial practices of their offices. Officials from the United States Government Accountability Office would show up, review everything you guys are doing. If your spending is illegal, and I think it's safe to say that it is, they'll find it, they'll put a stop to it. You'll never be implicated.
Well, that sounds good. That could work.
But you know what the real consequence of this is? The snowmobile trail? It's not going to be secure, and at least not this year. And probably every project you've been working on, it's going to come to a halt because spending the Retired Recovery Act money seems to be common in our office. I bet there'd be many essential security projects that would need to be abandoned. So what are you going to do?